Okay, friends, hello. Round two, hello. I don't think anyone here is here live anymore. I just talked for 10 minutes and it turns out my microphone was not working, the sound was not working. So thank you so much for everyone that was patient with me there. I hope this is working now. We'll find out, I guess, when we're done. I know some people might pop back in. But hello, welcome to our first live Q&A. It has been so long since I've been in this YouTube space, and I decided to do a YouTube live because it makes me feel alive. The whole idea of this is, I don't want to say scary, but I feel my heart racing. I had to change my shirt after that little episode because I was sweating. I just want you to know, like, we're in a real era right now of just being yourself, of just going with the flow, of no more perfection. It's not what it's about anymore. So chances are, if you're tuning into this, you subscribed to my channel many years ago when I did my Science Meets Spirit masterclasses, where I would take an essential oil and break it down into the science and the spirit. And I still love doing that. If you're in my world, you know I love teaching everything about essential oils. But I just really feel like the best way that I can serve, at least in this time period right now of summer 2025, is just really helping people remember the magic of being human, and that the goal here isn't to learn everything and isn't to know everything until you can get started. It's really about just remembering that you are magic and you are enough. And I've been feeling that personally myself, just wanting to show up and wanting to support and finding myself in a little bit of performance in that, okay, people expect this of me. And I guess the algorithm is favoring this, so I should talk about this. And this marketing coach says this. And finally, I was like, Laura, like, what do you want to talk about? What excites you? What would make you get on there and just feel alive? And how do you do this every day? And how do you live this lifestyle every day? And when it comes down to it, I don't do natural health. I am natural health. And I am essential oils, and I am doTERRA, and I am because of how I've integrated into my life. And when it comes down to it, it's because I've really just tapped back into what makes me feel alive, even if it doesn't seem to make sense to other people, even if it doesn't make sense to the algorithm. And one thing I've always loved, and, kind of got caught in this trap of, I can't just talk about that, is the idea of light. And I love taking pictures of light and lens flares and golden hour. Ever since I can remember, golden hour has made me feel alive. That time of day when the sun is at the perfect angle in the sky and it hits your skin and you feel it just activate your cells, and you almost have to close your eyes because it's just glowing and it makes you feel like you're glowing. And I was like, I wonder if I can just talk about light. I was like, well, how do I just talk about light in a world that feels like it's falling apart? And is that too frivolous? And is that too fluffy? And I really came down to, like, no, the answer is no. And I know that the world feels like it's on fire right now. And I know that a lot of people are suffering. And for those in a situation where you're not there, the best thing you can do to help those people is to be able to hold the paradox that, yes, there is suffering. Yes, the world is dark. Yes, systems and structures are crumbling all over the place, but I can still take care of myself, and I can still feel joy, and I can still spread light. And it's by doing that that we elevate everyone, because there's people in the world that can't tune into light right now. They can't tune into love. They just can't. So for the ones of us that have the capacity to do that, we need to do that. And I'm all about the new metrics of health and wellness being clarity and capacity, as opposed to, what does my weight say on the scale? And how many boxes am I checking off? It's really like, do I feel clear today? Do I feel resourced? Do I feel like I have the capacity to hold what the world is holding right now? And I had this image of I don't know if I only heard this word a few months ago for the first time, but this word, light well. And most of you are probably familiar with the word skylight. So I have one right behind me. I'm on the wrong side. There's a skylight. It's a hole in the ceiling where sun can come in and just bring more light into a floor of a house. A light well brings light from the top of the building all the way down to the bottom. So if there are buildings that are, built in the center of something and there's not enough window, like not enough space or configuration to have windows, you can build a light well to bring the light all the way down. You might know this sensation if you've been in Europe, and places like Rome and Paris have, I don't see okay. Yeah, okay. I think my mic is working. I can now see green moving. Okay, I think we're good. Hope we're good. You walk into these really old apartment buildings with courtyards, and I always loved that. And I could never explain it as a kid. And these are the things these are the clues that bring you back to feeling alive. It's the stuff that you can't explain. It's like, it just makes me feel good. It just makes me feel like me. So I remember like my first time in Rome, walking into this really old apartment building and looking up, and there was just light flooding from the ceiling all the way down to the bottom of this courtyard. And I just stood there and I was like, this is just so cozy. And it made me think of the human body more recently, in that our physical bodies are the architecture and the structure that holds our spirit and our soul and our purpose and our energy in this physical world. And it's perfect. I just got chills. So it's perfect. And the only thing we have to do is bring the light into it, to either reactivate it or activate it deeper, or to remind us of what we might not be seeing, what we've been conditioned to forget, right? So I'm working with light, the theme of light this summer. And I just thought to myself, what if I could just invite people to lean into health and wellness a little bit differently this summer? Because summer is a really easy time to kind of let it go. Most of us are feeling a little bit better because we get to be outside more, always better for health. We get to feel the sun on our skin, always better for health. But there might not be the intention there. There might not be, the viruses aren't circulating, again, we have more distractions maybe. So I want to invite you just to be a little bit more conscious this summer about what you want to invite in, what makes you feel alive. And just knowing that it's the things that you do right now that are going to carry you in to the next season. And I just love doing this. And it just makes me feel really happy because, I'm not an astrologer, but I love just feeling the flow of what's going on, because it helps me, again, anchor into my clarity and capacity. Essential oils aren't my only tool. And we've moved into the Age of Aquarius. So even if you don't follow astrology at all, I think you could probably sense this. So we're moving away from many, many, many years, decades, centuries of, hierarchical structures, control, systems, gurus, people telling each other what to do. And we've really moved in individualism into an era of collaboration and community and inner trust and love. And I just feel like, especially in a community like doTERRA, if you're not familiar with doTERRA, it's okay. It's the wellness company that I've partnered with. They've set themselves up for this. They've set themselves up to be a community of love and expansion. And, I just want to invite you into that, as opposed to looking at me to tell you what to do. This is all about you learning to listen to your own body, remembering that you are perfect. And these are all tools to help you ground into your clarity, your capacity, your magic. Okay. So, and I can't remember if I've said this because I've said this twice already on my previous versions that weren't recording, but according to the research of Dr. David Hawkins, one individual who vibrates the energy of pure love will counterbalance the negativity of 750,000 people who do not. So I feel like I'm in the vibration of pure love. I mean, I'm not the Buddha, I'm not, Jesus, but I feel for the first time in a very long time, I've really aligned with who I really am. And I've stopped performing and I've stopped pretending, and I'm just showing up as me, inviting you to show up as you. Okay. And if even one person watches this on the replay, that's 1.5 million. We're spreading the love. We're counterbalancing 1.5 million people being negative. So if it's just me, it's 750,000. I'm okay with that. If it's one person on the replay, it's 1.5 million. Imagine it's 10 people that watch this eventually, right? So thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I want to start with answering a question, because I did get some questions over on Instagram. And the first question is, what is your favorite oil for summer? Actually, let me just backtrack 1 second. I actually launched a podcast this summer. Again, I'm so sorry. I can't remember what I've said on my ones that didn't have sound and this one. But if you don't know, I actually also released kind of an exclusive private, not private in the sense that it's only for special people, just private in the sense that you can't search this on iTunes or Spotify. You have to just opt in, because I wanted people to, again, be conscious with what they're consuming. Just all you have to do is pop your email in and you will get access to it, and you can listen to it on Spotify or iTunes or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. But I call the podcast Golden Hour. Again, it's an hour-long wellness class, but it's split up into 6 mini episodes. So you can binge it all at once, or you can listen on the go and just kind of take it in spaciously. And it's my summer 2025 interpretation of Wellness Made Simple and kind of all these themes that we're exploring. So I'll link to that in the show notes. Maybe you've listened to it already. Thank you so much. But that's just a shameless plug for that. Okay. So one question I got on Instagram, just based on my invitation into Wellness Made Simple this summer, is what is my favorite oil for summer? And you can't see my oil shelf over there, but I have a ton of oils, and I do it very intuitively, in the sense that, and I talk about this in the podcast. I was like, is it enough that, I don't go over to my oil shelf and say, okay, I need an oil that's going to do this constituent, because I know that people get very overwhelmed with that. And this is why people don't use their oils. It's because they think they have to know everything, and they think that, I don't have this one, so I can't do this. And that's not how it works. Okay. So don't overwhelm yourself. Often I'll just be really intuitive and go over and be like, oh, cardamom, haven't used that in a while. Oh yeah, I forgot. I love that one. And all of a sudden I just feel more alive. If all you do right now is just practice feeling your body, you're way ahead of the game. And that brings me to what would be my favorite oil of this summer in light of this whole conversation. It would be Deep Blue, which is ironic because Deep Blue was the first masterclass I did on this channel on the science and spirit of Deep Blue. So I'd kind of be interested in going back to that version of Laura and just hearing what I had to say. Again, I took it off the channel because I just really wanted to focus on this new era that we're in. But why I love Deep Blue for this summer in particular is because it is one oil that does instantly make you feel alive. Like, you can't deny it. There's some oils that are more subtle. So for example, I have Melissa on my desk as well, another favorite. Essential oils are the quickest way to impact your limbic system and shift your mood. So you absolutely can shift your mood very instantaneously. But when it comes to feeling your physical body, it can take a little bit of time, and that's okay. So, when I put frankincense on my skin to support anti-aging, I'm not going to notice that in seconds. But when I put Deep Blue on my skin, I feel it immediately. And it's that reminder, that anchoring that I am supporting my body, that I am supported, that I feel my skin, I feel my muscles, I feel my joints. I'm reminded that this is a beautiful structure that's carrying me through this life, and I love to support it. So that's why I'm loving Deep Blue right now. And just from a very practical perspective on the physical front, it's amazing for supporting aches and pains. So, if you're playing tennis this summer, if you're hiking, if you are sitting in a car for long car rides, if you're working and you have to still be at your computer all summer long, Deep Blue on the shoulders, on the knees, on the ankles. You can even do it before you do exercise and kind of get ahead of any discomfort that might come your way. And then, very practically speaking, on an emotional level, it's a blend of like deep release and deep surrender. So it's wintergreen, which is the oil of surrender. It's peppermint, which is the oil of clarity. It is, what else is in here? Osmanthus, Roman chamomile, blue tansy, the oil of dreams. We have camphor in here as well, which is giving you that like warming, cooling sensation. And as I said, given the state of the world right now, it feels like it's on fire. We can be holding a lot of that. I feel it. I feel like I talked about this on my Instagram stories the other day. I hold a lot of tension in my face. I can see it in my forehead. And I'm like, I'm holding the pressure of the world. I want so desperately to fix things. And we can't always fix things in the moment. And the best way that we can fix things, again, is taking care of ourselves and being able to hold the paradox and vibrating love and taking care of ourselves. And to do that, we have to release. We have to surrender. We have to flow. And when you feel yourself kind of taking on the world to the point where you're constricting yourself from actually doing anything, Deep Blue to the rescue. Okay, so that's answering that question. What else did I want to talk about? I made a little cheat sheet so I wouldn't forget anything. And I guess what else I want to invite you into this summer is my friend Shannon, who is an amazing astrologer. I'll link to her website in case you're interested. She gave the most beautiful analogy that really set me free and has enabled me to show up the way I'm showing up with you right now. So, okay, we talked about the Golden Hour podcast, who I am, Age of Aquarius. Okay, yes, here we are. So she talked about the analogy of what's happening energetically with the astrology right now. And again, with astrology, we're not outsourcing our power. Again, the era of outsourcing our power is over. The Age of Aquarius is very much about reclaiming your own power for the benefit of the whole world, right? Oh, someone's at the front door if you hear the dogs barking. Sorry. This is what happens when you're live. Your sound doesn't work and people come to the front door. I have to get my husband to go answer that. The butterfly analogy. Okay, so we're not outsourcing our power to astrology. We are understanding that there's always currents of energy moving around us, and how can I ride with it as opposed to trying to swim against the current. Okay, so she used the analogy of like a bank vault. You know how like there's these giant bank vaults that hold gold, and you have to align all the numbers on the vault perfectly for it to swing open, and it's complex. So what's happening with the planets right now is they're all aligning perfectly to unlock that vault, but there's not some elusive bars of gold in there. The prize, the treasure inside is your own gold, your own light, your own uniqueness, and it's ready to shine. So she gave this analogy as being really helpful for the times right now, because a lot of us have gone through dark nights of the soul, ups and downs, and not being able to ground ourselves. All the outside stuff happening, but also all the personal stuff happening. So, since I started doTERRA in 2017, I've gone through a divorce. I've moved out on my own. I've met a new partner. I've had 2 children back to back. Not necessarily, I don't want to say not planned, but like, I never thought that I would be in my 40s having babies. So all of a sudden, my whole life has just been like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? So this energy is very much about you're unlocking your own inner gold. You're emerging as the butterfly. And I think a lot of us feel like maybe we're on the other side of some pretty wild energy, and you're above it now, and you see the light and you see the places you want to shine. But now that you're the butterfly out of your cocoon, like, what do you do? Where do you go? And her whole thing was that butterflies don't need to be told where to go. They see the flowers, they go to the flower. There's the migration of them coming together and migrating, and they don't have to be told how to migrate. They just it's an inherent ability. So I just want you to really lean into the trust that if you have gone through any kind of dark night of the soul, if you feel like you've emerged, but you're not quite sure what to do with this, just trust. Just start to move, because your body and your soul and God know exactly what you're meant to do. And you just have to start moving for it to kind of take you there. Okay. So I love that analogy as well. I had another question come in on Instagram. Let me just make sure I don't forget it. I think maybe I kind of addressed this one. But it said, you've talked a lot lately about being wellness as opposed to doing wellness. What does that mean for you? And I mean, I think this is going to be different for everyone. But what I mean by this is that I think there's this temptation to be like, okay, natural health is the better way. And I wouldn't say it's better or worse. It's a different system that we can investigate, right? Like, we need modern medicine. We need Western medicine. We need doctors. We need, surgeries and the ability to fix broken bones. But I think what's happened in our medical system is that we've outsourced a lot of power, and we've forgotten a lot about our inherent ability to heal and our inherent ability to know what we need, as opposed to asking the doctor what we should do. And that's the discomfort I felt even as a practicing naturopathic doctor, is that people were coming to me as their guru. Fix me. This is what's wrong with me. This is my diagnosis. Okay, just tell me what to do. Tell me what herbs to take. Tell me what oils to take. Tell me what supplements to take. And of course, we're going to need guidance as we learn new things, but we have to come at asking for the guidance from a perspective of curiosity and excitement and integration. So it's not so much like, okay, if I do this, if I check this off, if I take this supplement, if I do what Laura does, I'm going to feel better. You're always going to be waiting. Whereas being is more like, okay, I tried this and I feel like this. Wow, I really like this. Wow, I don't resonate with that. Wow, I'm just feeling guided to do this. And then all of a sudden, you start to feel better, no matter like what your diagnosis is, because you are actually listening to yourself and you're working with yourself and you're in tune with yourself. So that's what I mean about, it's not about performance. It's not about checking boxes. It's just about being. And, that being said, I do have my rhythms every day, but I talk about them as rhythms, not as a routine, because I feel like a routine also implies that you're checking off boxes, whereas a rhythm is, this is what I feel compelled to do every day. And, I do have a little rhythm where I take my supplements in the morning with water, and I one oil on my body, one oil in the diffuser. And if I do nothing else in the day, I'm happy. And I actually look forward to doing that every day. And that's my rhythm. And yes, I'm doing it, but I'm also being it, because the night before I go to bed, it's not like, okay, I can't forget to take my VMG in the morning. It's more like, I can't wait till the morning when I get to take that, because it's like a deep breath for my body. Do you feel the difference? That's what I want you to kind of practice this summer. So that led me to my third question that I got about VMG. So VMG is doTERRA's brand new powdered vitamin minerals green supplement. It's amazing. It's more, I think I always get the number wrong. This is, again, it's not about being perfect. I can go look it up. You can go look it up. It's either 75 or 90. I always mix up two of them. Constituents in this powder, all your essential vitamins for sure, all your essential minerals for sure, and then antioxidants, greens, other phytochemicals which benefit whole body health in a really unique whole food supplement. So meaning all of these are derived from real food. They're not synthetic, meaning your body is going to utilize them a lot differently and a lot more sustainably and a lot more happily. And powered by essential oils. So essential oils are in the supplement, meaning that your cells, the essential oils, the job of them when we take it internally is to inform our cells what to do. So it's basically the oils are being like, okay, cells, you need to take all this up and utilize it in this way. And that's what they're doing, which makes it really unique. So love taking my VMG in the morning. And I had a question from someone in Canada asking when we will finally get this in Canada, because it's available in Europe right now. It's available in the US. And I just want to say it's coming officially to Canada. Officially, I shouldn't say that. I've heard like 95%, maybe that's an overestimation. I don't know. I've heard there's quite a bit of certainty that it's coming to Canada in January 2026. So that's only five-ish months from now, which is amazing. Basically, it takes a long time to get things approved in Canada on the natural health front to protect the consumer. And what they've done is they've changed it from being a natural health product to a food product, which gets through the system a lot more quickly. And how cool is it that they can do that? Because these aren't synthetics. It's actually derived from food. So I love that. So chances are it's going to be approved a lot more quickly. We'll have it in Canada in January. But that being said, I have been ordering it from the US warehouse since it first launched in September. And I know that the exchange rate is not ideal right now. And I just really invite you, if you feel compelled to use it, just invite you to look at your mindset around it. I feel very VIP that I can access everything in the US warehouse. I also just felt personally that this was a supplement that really made me feel that much better. And I don't want to wait to shift the energy in Canada until January. I don't want to wait. I want to do things when my body is ready to move. So that's why I order from the US warehouse. I know a lot of people in Canada do that right now. The exchange rate sucks. I'm not denying that, but we don't pay duty. There's ways to get free shipping. It's been 125% worth it for my body. I get it for my partner, Jeff, as well. But that being said, if you wanted to wait, it's coming in January. Those are the 3 questions I got when I put out a call for questions this morning. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. If you hopped on live the first time or the second time, I'm hoping this will save properly and you guys can tune into the replay. And just know that I'm going to be doing this every Friday this summer at 12 p.m. Eastern time, just to really anchor in this idea that with love and self-acceptance and showing up even when it's not perfect and just being in community together and collaboration together, no matter where you are in the world or what team you're on, if you're part of doTERRA, or if you use these products or not already, hopefully something here will spark something inside of you that will make you feel less alone and give you hope for the changing world. And just, I want to anchor you in with the reminder that often when things are falling apart and things feel loud and things feel noisy, it's because more light is being shone on it. So I don't want to say it's a good thing because there's people suffering for sure right now, but we're seeing all of this and it feels so much louder because more light is infusing the planet, forcing us to see it, forcing us to make a decision of what timeline do I want for my world? What timeline do I want to be on with my family? Do I want to leave? What legacy do I want to leave for my children? It's inviting you to make new choices. And those choices start with yourself and how you show up for yourself every day. So again, the Golden Hour podcast, if for whatever reason, with tech not being on my side right now, if you can't see show notes, just send me a message on Instagram and I will send you the link where you can access the Golden Hour podcast. If you have not used your doTERRA oils or products in a long time and you'd like some support around that, it's my favorite thing to talk about. I'm happy to educate you here in this space, or again, just message me on Instagram and I'd be happy to re-tap you into all of that. If you're curious about this world that we play in with essential oils and the best supplements in the world, send me a message. I'd love to help you get started. I'm in Canada. I'm really committed right now to shifting the energy in Canada, but I do help people all over the world and it would be an honor to support you as well. And I will see you back here live next Friday.